Mazer world! Are you ready? Are you ready to get into alignment with who you really are? Because it's time! It's time to boost your happiness, your relationships, your health, and of course, your finances. It's Elma here, and I invite you to listen today to another great episode from a Mazer podcast. In today's episode, I'm going to talk about the law of attraction physics. Learn the science behind manifesting. I can't wait for you to find out all the cool info we got today. So, have you heard about people using the law of attraction to manifest their goals and dreams, but you're not sure whether it actually works? If you're anything like me, then you probably need some scientific evidence that supports the law of attraction ideas. When we talk about the law of attraction, physics actually has a lot to do with it. Recent discoveries in quantum physics actually support some of these concepts and give the law of attraction somewhat of a scientific basis. That's great news for all skeptics out there that need logical reasons why manifesting your desires is actually a real thing. If you would like to find out more about the science behind the law of attraction and how it all works, then don't miss out on this podcast. I'm going to explain everything you need to know about the law of attraction physics. And if terms like quantum physics or subatomic particles sound scary to you, don't worry, because I'm going to break it down for you so that it's simple and easy to understand. You don't have to be a physicist to understand some of the basic concepts of the law of attraction physics. So first, let me tell you about what is the law of attraction. Before we get into the physics of it, let's first go over the basics of what the law of attraction is and how it works. Put simply, the law of attraction is the belief that if you focus on positive things, you can attract positive experiences into your life. Moreover, if you focus on negative things, you attract negative things into your life. Sounds simple enough, right? So you can use the power of your mind to manifest your thoughts into reality. People have used the law of attraction to manifest everything from careers, relationships, wealth, and success. The best way to learn to manifest your desires and dreams is to get daily tips and tricks from the law of attraction influencers. There are many books and publications that explain how to harness the power of the law of attraction and use one's positive thoughts to transform their lives. But there is not much about the mechanics of it. How does it all work? And what's the law of attraction physics formula? Now let's talk about skepticism surrounding this. There is also some skepticism about the law of attraction. Let's face it, it sounds too good to be true. And it's completely natural to question everything, including the law of attraction. However, many people are skeptics simply because the law of attraction does not fit into their views about what reality is and how the universe works. It's easy to dismiss the law of attraction simply because it sounds too weird to be true. It's important to remember that scientists are actually the biggest skeptics out there, and that's absolutely necessary in order not to get stuck with their beliefs about how the universe works. There are new discoveries every day, and we need to be open to new ideas and theories. That's the only way to get a deeper understanding of the world around us. When some theories in physics, particularly quantum physics, were proposed, they sounded really crazy and out there. But experiments and studies showed that many of them are actually true. So scientists had to keep an open mind and be open to the possibility of the universe working in strange ways. So it's important to be open to new theories and understandings of reality if you really want to understand the law of attraction physics. So now, let's discuss the physics behind the law of attraction. Most people think that the universe is something outside of ourselves and we cannot influence it in any way. But it's important to note that even though scientists are working hard on explaining the world around us, there is still so much that we don't know. So everything is possible. The most important thing in science is to keep an open mind because we're constantly discovering things about our universe that seemed crazy just a couple of years ago. For instance, we discovered that our universe is expanding less than 100 years ago. Before that, we couldn't even imagine it happening. You can find more about the law of attraction physics and other important resources if you go to amazer.me/47. Even though there isn't a scientific study that explores the law of attraction specifically, there are some discoveries and experiments that support this concept. Let's go through the important ones. So now we're going to discuss the topic of subjective reality. Our consciousness is still one of the greatest mysteries we know very little about. We've explored our bodies, the Earth, and even deep space. But scientists are still unsure what is the nature of consciousness. There are some interesting theories that include the idea of subjective reality. You're probably wondering, what's subjective reality? You might have heard about this conundrum. If a tree falls down in the forest, does it make a sound if there's no one there to hear it? Think about that for a moment. If there's nobody to perceive it, does it really make a sound? It's a great thought experiment. We could also say, if there's no consciousness to perceive the world around us, does it even exist? If you believe that reality is objective, you might say no. But if you believe that reality is subjective, then the answer is yes. In objective reality, if consciousness is not there to observe the universe, it doesn't really exist. Crazy, huh? In the subjective reality belief system, our consciousness creates the physical material world. That's exactly what the concept of the law of attraction is. Although the theories behind the law of attraction are very thought-provoking, if you want to understand how to use manifestation techniques in a practical way, get daily tips from the best law of attraction teachers. Want to master the law of attraction like a guru? Try this ultimate free tool at amazer.me/LOA-general to understand and practice the best techniques that only 1% of people use in order to attract everything you want into your life. Furthermore, let's discuss quantum mechanics and the law of attraction. If you want to get a law of attraction physics definition, we would need to get into quantum physics. Quantum mechanics is a theory in physics that describes our world in the smallest scale possible. That means atoms and subatomic particles. What's interesting about quantum physics is that it doesn't follow the rules of the Newtonian physics we all learned in school. It was because of the research in quantum physics that scientists realized that our world is much stranger than we had initially thought. And now the law of attraction concepts don't sound so crazy anymore. So let me tell you about the strange occurrence in quantum mechanics known as the observer effect. The observer effect happens when the act of measuring or observing some properties of the particles changes them. Those were the results of the famous double-slit experiment. Quantum physics tells us that we can't look at small entities like electrons only as particles, but as waves as well. It's only when we measure them can we determine whether it's going to behave like a wave or a particle. So the act of observing something can actually change the outcome. Another interesting thing is when the particles are not measured, they exist in a wave function which contains an infinite number of possible outcomes. Only when we measure it, the wave function collapses and one outcome is materialized. Listen to this quote by Kevin Mitchell. "The particles that are the very building blocks of all things are in all possible locations until observation or measurement causes them to choose a specific position." We could look at that spot as proof that our consciousness influences and changes the physical and material world. Our thoughts collapse the wave into a particle and make it into the matter. How incredible is that? So your life has an infinite amount of different outcomes, and if you focus your thoughts on one particular outcome, you can materialize it. That's the basis of the law of attraction and definitely has connections with quantum physics experiments. So when you're practicing the law of attraction and focusing on a certain outcome that you wish to achieve, whether it's to be more successful, a new house, a perfect relationship, or whatever it may be, you are influencing the material world and attracting those things into your life. Quantum physics teaches us that everything can happen because the possibilities are endless. That's very inspiring. And if you feel motivated to try out some law of attraction techniques, you should receive daily exercises that you can practice. Now, listen to an interesting thought from the book Moving Through Parallel Worlds to Achieve Your Dreams by Kevin Mitchell. The more we delve into quantum mechanics, the stranger the world becomes. Appreciating this strangeness of the world while still operating in that which you now consider reality will be the foundation for shifting the current trajectory of your life from ordinary to extraordinary. It is the tale of mixing this cosmic weirdness with the practical and physical, which will allow you to move, moment by moment, through parallel worlds to achieve your dreams. Another strange occurrence in quantum mechanics is quantum entanglement. To get a basic understanding of it, listen to a great quote from Michio Kaku's book, Physics of the Impossible. If two electrons are initially vibrating in unison, a state called coherence, they can remain in wave-like synchronization even if they are separated by a large distance. Although the two electrons may be separated by light years, there is still an invisible Schrödinger wave connecting both of them like an umbilical cord. If something happens to one electron, then some of that information is immediately transferred to the other electron in a speed faster than the speed of light. That sounds eerily similar to what the law of attraction is proposing. You will attract whatever is your vibrational match. You can find more about the law of attraction physics and other important resources if you go to amazer.me/47. So now let me tell you about the famous water experiment. Now that we've got quantum physics covered, let's move on to some simpler stuff. There is a famous experiment by Dr. Masaru Emoto who is concentrated on scientifically exploring the power and consciousness of our intent. He wanted to discover whether our thoughts could influence the material world. Interesting, huh? Now, listen to how the experiment was done. As part of the study, a group of 2,000 people who were located in Tokyo were directing their thoughts and feelings towards frozen water samples that were located in California. First, the intentions and thoughts were positive, and in the next experiment, the thoughts were negative. When Dr. Emoto examined the frozen water crystals, the results were astonishing. He discovered that when people were directing positive intentions, the frozen water crystals arranged in a beautiful, symmetrical way. However, when people in the study were directing negative thoughts and intentions, the water crystal was unsymmetrical and distorted. So, the consciousness and the thoughts of the people in the study were influencing the geometric structure of the frozen water crystals. How amazing is that? But Dr. Emoto didn't stop there. He did many more experiments with water. In one study, he taped positive notes on a bottle of water saying, "Thank you, you are cherished," etc. What he found is once the water was frozen, the same symmetrical shapes appeared like in the previous experiment. He also tried playing different music to water, and although it sounds very strange, the water actually responded. When loud, heavy metal music was played, the water crystals were shaped unsymmetrically and the composition was distorted. However, when Bach was played, the crystals were once again symmetrical. What Dr. Emoto's experiments show is that we can definitely influence the material world with our thoughts and intentions. And that's the basis of the law of attraction. If you want to master the law of attraction techniques, you should receive daily advice that will help you understand the law of attraction better and manifest anything you want. You are focusing on positive thoughts and goals you wish to achieve, and by doing that, you're influencing the material world, which results in manifestation. This experiment also shows how negative thoughts and intentions can be destructive and have a bad influence on physical reality, which also confirms the law of attraction concept that negative thoughts create even more negativity. Do you know that your thoughts are energy? There are actually several amazing experiments that show your thoughts are energy. Just like everything else in our physical reality, studies have been done that show that thoughts have an electrical frequency that can be measured. When you think positive thoughts or meditate, that frequency becomes higher. When you hear in the Law of Attraction books that you need to raise your vibration to a higher frequency, that's what it actually means. Your thoughts are energy that can vibrate at higher and lower frequencies. So science and physics tell us that our thoughts have a big role in creating our reality. We should definitely give them more attention. That's exactly what the law of attraction teaches us. Your thoughts influence the world around you, and that's why you should work hard to be as positive as you can. And finally, let's discuss the placebo effect. Everybody has heard about the placebo effect, where patients are given a fake treatment but are told that it's real. But what's astounding is that the patients often feel positive benefits even though they were not given the real medicine. What does that tell us? That the patients experienced physical benefits simply by thinking that they were given a treatment that works. They were in a positive mindset and were convinced that the treatment will work, and it did, when in fact they were given no treatment at all. This is another scientific example that shows us that the way we think can influence the material world. In this case, our bodies and health. The best books about the law of attraction physics are Manifesting a Miracle, The Beginner's Guide to Law of Attraction, Quantum Physics, and Getting What You Want by Lisa Townsend, The Science Behind the Secret by Travis Taylor, and Leveraging the Universe by Mike Dooley. Reading Law of Attraction physics books is definitely very valuable for your manifesting journey, but the quickest way to become a Law of Attraction expert is to get exclusive tips on a daily basis. Understanding the physics and science behind the Law of Attraction is very important. Although there are no experiments that study the Law of Attraction in particular, the discoveries in quantum physics definitely seem to give a greater insight into how it works. If you want to learn more about how to use the Law of Attraction in your own life, I recommend teachers like Abraham Hicks and Rhonda Byrne. You have just listened to another episode from a Mazer podcast. I hope you enjoyed it, and don't forget, if you want to manifest the Law of Attraction like a guru, then remember you need to go to amazer.me/LOA-general. Until next time, stay happy and keep manifesting your dream life.